non-pharmaceutical intervention in your domain, because the virus needs human beings to move around. It's not the virus that goes around, it's human beings that take the virus from one person to another. So what we're trying to do is to break that intense transmission so that the virus will tire out. So the campaign at the local level should be encompassing and involve non-pharmaceutical intervention and as well as the uptake of vaccine.
All right.
We can do better.
All right, Dr. Mebawondu. The Lagos State government commenced prosecution of inbound international passengers who failed to submit themselves for day 2 and day 7 PCR test as mandated by the federal government COVID-19 protocols and, of course, guidelines. Just how far will that go? That's on the one hand. And secondly, it's the Yuletide. Lots of people, we see lots of festivals and carnivals. Should the government not be thinking the line of maybe restricting maybe movement and gatherings at this time of the year?
Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of other voices in the background that is not making the question very clear.
Okay,
I guess you're talking about the ban.
No, I mentioned 2 things. I said that the Lagos State government has begun the prosecution of inbound international passengers who failed to submit themselves for day 2 and day 7 PCR test as mandated by the federal government. I was asking if that alone is enough or if it's good enough. Then secondly, I also asked that if we should not be looking in the direction of maybe restricting much gatherings this Yuletide season, because we find lots of them available all around the country this time of the year.
State actually made a good law in terms of reducing transmission during this festive period. What I was expecting is that the federal government should actually reproduce that law, and other state governments should reproduce it if it's going to have any impact. After those people come into the country that they are thinking of prosecuting, well, I think prosecution is not an appropriate way. We tend to throw threats around simple public intervention. But for me, what we really need to do is to make it difficult for people not to do those tests, and for people not to escape doing those tests. You have to make it difficult. I would rather look at option of fine. I would rather look at option of suspending their passport in a way, rather than thinking that you want to prosecute and put in jail. But any measure that cannot violate too much of their rights is welcome, because public health interest is paramount and key in this regard.
Okay, so individuals have already started talking about the need to take booster shots. At what point should we be talking about booster shots in Nigeria?
Hello, man. We are just 2% vaccination, and then you want to give booster shots. So, what of the remaining 30% or 40% that need to be vaccinated? I think for me, our priority should be directed to vaccinating as many people as possible instead of taking a booster shots now. What that means is that the critical doses that will be directed to those people that are yet to get vaccination will now be given to those that have gotten some immunity. Let us be mindful of the fact that immunity, even after taking the 2 doses, cannot be zero with Omicron. If you've taken 2 doses of the vaccine, your immunity cannot be zero. But what we're saying is that we want more people to take those 2 doses before we start talking about booster. But I don't know how the policy will pan out, because you want to protect 2% at all costs and leave 90%. So what will you get? So our measures should not be something we just copy because they are giving booster dose in UK, they are giving booster dose in America. UK had more than 70% vaccination. America close to that. Yes, they can afford to give booster dose. Then we are just 2%. In the whole of Africa is just less than 10% of their population, more than 1 billion population. So who is talking about booster here?
All right, Dr. T, I know we have talked about vaccine being the best way forward, but our school of thought believes that we should need to be working on research and development so that way we should be looking at manufacturing and producing these shots by ourselves. When is Nigeria going to get on that particular bandwagon and, of course, start catering to its own needs?
Yeah, 7 months ago, I pushed for us to wrap up our ability to manufacture the vaccine. What we need to do is to, first of all, build a factory, sign a manufacturing contract agreement with any of those approved vaccines, and then find a way to deploy those vaccines there. If you remember the Serum Institute of India, how did they become a darling? When the virus broke in China, Adapu Wanala went ahead and started building factories, collecting bottles. People thought he was mad. He was proved right because India was able to get sufficient vaccine to respond. And they even sell to COVAX. There's no reason why Nigeria should not be able to get a manufacturing concern running within 7 months. A lot of people that are ready to help you are there. You can always mobilize the fund. But in all our cases, we like shortcuts. We don't want to get the long run. So what we should be doing that will be sustainable is for us to build a factory and manufacture our vaccine and deploy sale. The Serum Institute is refusing to give vaccine to Africa and said that their hesitancy rate is too high. And that's a big problem. So now, if India refuses to give us vaccine, and we have to wait for the handouts from either COVAX or bilateral organizations, and we're not getting those ones, how do we move on? Let us not be mindful of the fact that we've not known or seen the end of COVID-19 and its mutation.
Okay, just as we begin to coast down this conversation, can you please run us through the benefits of being vaccinated as against the conspiracy theories that we have, all around?
What vaccine does for you, raise your immunity, prevent severe infection, and limit your transmission. And that is what we're looking for.
So does it also, someone who's vaccinated, we also need to understand, some people are saying that being vaccinated does not stop you from contracting the virus. Is that the case?
Listen, being vaccinated may not stop you from contracting the virus, but it prevents you from having the severe disease and hospitalization. Now, look at the common flu or influenza. You take the shot every year. What we are running away from is severe infection that will lock down the economy and paralyze the health system.
All right, I must say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Tuyi Mebawando. He is a public health practitioner, and he joined us to look at the rising number of infections that we have across Nigeria, which is becoming very alarming. And together, the general consensus here is that all Nigerians need to write home about.
Yes, and like he's mentioned, there's need for us to decentralize information and, push the campaign through other stakeholders in the society where you have traditional rulers, population, to be vaccinated. And then we get to that point and we don't have the vaccines. What's going to happen? So as much as we're pushing for people to get vaccinated, we should also double our effort on getting the vaccines. However we want to get it, whether we want to still be dependent on the Western world or we want to look inwards and manufacture. But it's important that we do the needful.
All right, that's the size of the show. So go out there and get vaccinated. We'll return again on Monday. My name is Justin Akadonye. Many thanks for watching.
And I am Messi Bopo. If you missed out on any part of the conversation, it's all right to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at PlusTvAfrica. And on YouTube is at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. It's all right to subscribe. Do have a wonderful Friday.
for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Booking November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on PlusTvAfrica.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
My name is David Oladimeji Olukemimako, a son of Awa, Ijebu, Ogun State. Here is my good old days story. I was born in Ibadan at St. Mary's Catholic Hospital, Oluyoro, Okiofa, to the family of Abraham Olukoya, Adeyinka Mako, and my mother, Olabisi, the only child of her mother, was from Iba, Imobi, in the Ijebu Waterside area of Ogun State. I was raised by maternal grandmother, Madam Odilia Taiwo, Mami Ekotedo. I was a gifted fisherman even before I turned 10 years old. I left the village of Itase for Ibadan, and I got enrolled at St. Saviour's African Church School, Ekotedo, Ibadan. Ibadan then became my world, where table tennis took all my attention in those growing old days. Traversing the various playing locations like Agbokojo, Racecourse Ibadan, and Liberty Stadium in search of fame and fortune. And as a young boy, I was very rascally and had my fair share